Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Salamcast. I'm here joined with Brother Fahad from Norway. How are you doing? Okay. Brother Fahad is one of the leading people in charge of one of the biggest Dawah centers, Islamnet in Norway. Is this correct? Yes?
Well, yes, one of the leading Dawah organizations. We don't have a big center yet, but inshallah in the future.
Well, you didn't like the way I introduced?
Nah. Can I shake your hand? Now you might be thinking, Brother Ali, what are you doing? What's this flowers got to do with anything? Well, the brother who gives flowers to sisters who want to shake his hand. Mashallah. It was a good technique. So you can see on the screen, that's what your mortar is for.
Velkommen.
Takk for det.
Takk for at du kunne komme.
Hei.
Hei.
Tusen hjertelig takk.
Bare hyggelig. Gleden er på min side. Jeg hilser sånn.
Ok.
Og velkommen til Sylvi Listhaug og Fahad Qureshi.
Takk.
For 2 minutter siden så møttes dere i dette studio. Dere tok hverandre ikke i hånda, men du fikk en blomsterkvast, Sylvi. Fortell hva som skjedde.
Det var jo veldig hyggelig å få blomster, men det er klart i Norge det som er vanlig når vi treffer hverandre, det er jo håndhilse, og det registrerte jeg at du ikke ønsker å gjøre, og jeg har ikke fått noen forklaring på hvorfor det.
Qureshi, kan du fortelle hva som skjedde?
Jeg er helt enig med deg. I norsk sammenheng så er det veldig vanlig å håndhilse på hverandre. Og nettopp derfor, på grunn av religiøse årsaker, så foretrekker jeg også håndhilse på denne måten. Og så for å gjøre opp for det, så hadde jeg tatt med blomster for å vise at jeg faktisk setter pris på deg og verdsetter deg som et menneske.
Men hva er grunnen til at dere ikke håndhilser? Alle andre jeg har på besøk her håndhilser. Så hva er grunnen?
Det er bare på grunn av min religiøse overbevisning, så skal man helst ikke ha fysisk kontakt med det motsatte kjønn, fordi det er min kones rettighet overfor meg at jeg ikke skal ha noen som helst fysisk kontakt med noen andre enn henne.
Listhaug, hva tenker du?
Jeg tenker at det er jo litt sånn uforskammet i dagens Norge å ikke gi håndhilse på hverandre. Vi lever jo i et likestilt land, der jenter og damer har samme rettigheter som menn, der vi kan greie det samme og skal ha like muligheter. Og jeg tenker at når man har et sånt utgangspunkt, så legitimerer man jo det at jenter ikke får samme muligheter i Norge.
Her er det egentlig jeg som ikke får samme mulighet, for det er jeg som ikke fikk håndhilse på deg på grunn av min kones forespørsel til meg.
Men Listhaug fikk heller ikke håndhilse på deg.
Hun fikk jo blomster.
Sylvi Listhaug, Fahad Qureshi, tusen takk for at dere kom begge to.
So start by telling us what happened. I mean, what was the situation? How did you anticipate that she would go and try and shake your hand, etc.?
Well, I kind of knew because I've been debating these kind of people many times. She's representing a specific political party.
Who is this person?
She isn't anymore. She was sacked actually.
Wow.
She was a minister.
Not based on this.
Not based on this,
Yes.
but similar. Similar things.
Yes.
She was a minister in charge of integration and integration politics.
She's part of the government.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So
what's the name of the party that she belongs to, for those who know?
I don't know his name in.
Are they far right? Are they like...
Yeah, it's the more far right political party we have in Norway.
Okay, yes.
So they're in government right now.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I've had interacted with them earlier, and every single time I have met them in the media and in debates, etc., they try to shake my hand.
And she was trying to put forward some arguments. What were some of the arguments that she was putting forward?
The main thing that they say that this is not shaking the hand of the opposite gender is against equality. That you think that other gender is lesser worth than yourself. I guess that was her main argument, but that's completely false.
Right.
Because Muslim females can't shake opposite gender's hand.
Exactly.
So does that mean now the men is lower now? Should we talk about that now?
Exactly.
Yeah, learning from the best now.
So is that the main argument that they put forward, or?
Well, yeah, I guess that's the main argument. So I came planned. I knew she was going to do it. Even after I gave her the flowers, if you look closely, she takes the flower and then she again stretches her hand. Because she knows that she's just gonna make a circus out of it.
What was your explanation?
The explanation was very easy, simple.
Yes.
That I can't shake your hand. I greet you with all the respect. I even put my hand on my heart. But I can't physically touch you because of the right that my wife has upon me. Yeah, my wife doesn't want me to shake anyone's hands, and my religion teaches me that I'm not allowed to touch anyone of the opposite gender, and that's to safeguard my wife's rights upon me.
That's
Which is a good way of putting it.
That's such a beautiful thing. Well, like, if you think about it today, you need to. Come on, man.
Yeah, the whole idea of it being a gender issue, like that women are seen in the second class, is like you said. How could that be the case when the same rule applies on both sides?
Exactly. A female Muslim woman can't do the same. So does that mean now he's belittling the man?
Exactly. That's quite interesting. Just a few days ago, there was a case in Norway.
Yes.
Where a man, he was suspended. Actually, there was two cases, one in Sweden and one in Norway, and they were both of the cases went to the human rights judgment place in the country. I don't know his name, term in English. Yeah, and they got quite opposite judgments. Wow. In Sweden, a woman, she went to an interview, and
so this guy, what was the case of this? Is Norway? Yeah.
Now Sweden, okay.
Yeah.
So this woman, she went, a Muslim woman, went to an interview.
Yeah.
So this man, he stretched out his hand and he wanted to shake her hand. She refused. She said she doesn't do that because of her religious reasons. And immediately he cancelled the interview. Okay.
Right.
So she was.
So is that religious discrimination or not?
Exactly. So that was the question, and that went to the judgment.
Right. In Sweden,
exactly, in discrimination.
Yeah.
And it was judged that this was discrimination. Yeah. It was completely illegal, and that company was fined.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
The guy gets sacked.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So alhamdulillah, but in terms of Norway, quite different. So this man was hired as a teacher, and then to prolong his contract, they demanded for him that he shake hands with women. When he was hired,
how can you demand that he shake hands with women? Sorry, as a teacher, what point of the job description?
Just a teacher.
So well, you have to, what part of the job description, when you finish the lesson and do the lesson plan.
You say,
I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's what it was. You know?
Really?
Yeah, really, honestly. He was hired as a teacher, but they knew at the point that he was hired that he doesn't shake hand with women. Okay, but to prolong the contract, they gave him an ultimatum: either you start shaking hands with women, or you get sacked.
Wow!
And he said, "I can't do that because it's my religious belief. I'm not allowed to touch the opposite gender." And then they sacked him. And then the case was brought to the jury.
Yes.
And it was 5 judges. Okay, the 5 judges divided in a majority of 3. And a minority of 2.
Wow.
So 2 of those judges said, no, this man has clearly been discriminated. While 3 of them said, no, he hasn't. So, but one interesting thing is that all 5 of those judges, they agreed that there's a conflict between the value of keeping the man's religious freedom and between the principle of equal treatment.
Yes.
Okay, so they said he's not treating men and women equally.
Who isn't?
This man who didn't shake hands with the women. So all of those 5 judges, even those who said he has been discriminated, they said no, there's a conflict here. But I believe that there is no conflict. There is no conflict. So the whole debate or the whole thing is based upon a misunderstanding. Why do you say that it's a conflict between keeping protecting his religious freedom and protecting or maintaining equal treatment between men and women? Yes, rightly so. He doesn't treat them or men or women exactly the same by not shaking the woman's hand. But what is the reason behind that? No one is talking about what is the reason. Why doesn't he do that? So I actually wanted to ask you as well. When, from a liberal perspective, when they talk about equal treatment, what exactly do they mean? Because I'm going to tell you what I think. From my point of view, when they talk about equal treatment, between men and women, they expect that the woman should be treated in a way that gives her the same respect as the man, and secondly, gives her the same opportunities as the man. So if you treat someone or one of the genders in a way that takes from their dignity or takes away from their opportunities to do something, you have not treated them equally. But if you treat them differently in something else because of a specific reason, for example, you have a man and a woman, and you want to lift a table, and you might choose the man to help you lift the table and not the woman. Because there's a specific reason for it. You treated them differently, yeah? Physically, there was a difference, yeah? But you chose the man because of his physical power. So those you had a specific reason to that, not because that you wanted to take away from her opportunities or not because you were looking down upon her.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why don't they apply the same principle upon
Exactly.
this? That we should
The
look
thing
at.
is, go ahead, sir.
That we should look at why he didn't shake the hand. Why she does not shake his shake? Is it because that he or she, whoever it might be, looks down upon the opposite gender, that he believes that he's better than women, that he is more cleaner than women, that these are the kinds of things that some people might assume. That we don't shake their hands because we believe we're so clean and they're dirty. That's completely false.
Yes.
So if this is not the case, and it doesn't even take away from their opportunities to become something or to develop or to reach a higher position in their job, then why are we saying that this from the beginning, from its initial state, is unequal treatment?
I think there is a tension. Yeah, there's a tension. First and foremost, I think there's two things that we need to look at, right? We need to look at the philosophical jargon that's being used, or the precepts, the philosophical precepts, and then we have to look at how that trickles down legalistically in every country context, right? So, for example, in the UK, we have certain legislation. We have the Equalities Act. I think it's 2009. It was.